And you're thinking of a spade. And it is a low card, which means it's a 7 or less. Is that right? It's not the one I snuck in my pocket. You're not thinking of the 3 of spades? It was bigger than that? How about the 4 of spades? The 5 of spades? The 6, the 7, the 8, the 9. Were you thinking of the 10 of spades by chance? Very good. I'll let you sit down as well. Give a nice hand to all my participants out here, will you? You know, it's interesting. People find out that I started my career years ago as a magician. They know I'm going to talk about this idea today of how to identify, master, and conquer the process of change. And people say, Robert, what's the connection? You know, what in the world does being a magician have to do with this idea of conquering change? Well, ever since I was a little kid, I've always wanted to know how things work. When I was about 8, I had a lab in the basement mixing chemicals together with my junior chemistry set. My parents were glad I never blew the house up. They were happier when I got to be about 10 years old and got interested in magic. You couldn't do a lot of damage with a deck of cards. But by studying magic and the problem-solving skills that went along with it, I learned very early on that by learning to solve the impossible, you can achieve the impossible. Because a lot of times people look at magic, illusion, something they don't understand right away and say, gosh, that's impossible. Then we look at success in all of its various forms, and sometimes we say that that's impossible. But the truth is, if you look just below the surface, there's a logical explanation or a strategy you can use to achieve certain results. So in the time we're going to spend together today, I'm going to show you that what you might initially perceive as impossible really is achievable. Now, let's try to get our arms for a moment around the subject of change. Change is a really big subject. You know, some people look at change as an enemy, as a predator. Something that stalks them every waking moment, robbing them of peace and tranquility and happiness. But then there's those people that look at change the opposite way. They look at change more as a friend, more as a companion. You know, something to escort them on this fascinating journey called life. Well, when we're done this morning, it is my belief you will look at change the second way. More as a friend and more as a companion. A couple of my favorite quotes on change. One of them comes from Charles Darwin, who said, "It's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one most responsive to change." So becoming more responsive to change is one of our goals this morning. Another favorite quote, this popped out at a program not too long ago, and that is, change is neither good nor bad. It simply is. And you make it one or the other by your choices and by your actions. So increasing our available choices, our options, and then translating those into action steps is another one of our goals today. And this is a great one, came from an audience member. She said, change is constant. You are the variable, and it is that variable we're going to focus on this morning. Let's take a moment and tear apart the title of this presentation, How to Identify, Master, and Conquer Change. How do you identify change? Well, you identify change by asking the right questions of yourself and those around you. I'm not talking about simple yes or no questions. I'm talking about the tough ones. You know, questions that make you think, questions that make you uncomfortable, questions that challenge your assumptions, questions that cause you to expand the power of your mind. Now, once we've unearthed the answers to lots of different questions, then the question is, how do you master change? Well, do this. Picture a change that you're facing right now. It may be a change, it may be a problem, it may be a difficult situation. Picture it clearly in your mind and ask yourself 3 questions about it. What's the best that could possibly happen? And once you've answered that, ask yourself what's the worst that could possibly happen. And now that you've got both ends of the spectrum isolated here, ask yourself, what is likely to happen? What is likely to happen? You see, your answer to that third question is a reality check. It allows you to see things realistically. And once you do, you begin to realize that most of the things you worry about never happen. And ultimately, you conquer the process of change by doing something about it. Action always changes everything, so let's get started. And to do that,